The infotainment challenge for automotive is not unique to any particular OEM or first tier. We all have the challenge of delivering a solution to a worldwide audience, and the issue here is there's no, or our view is that there is no single company that is basically capable of doing this, and that's why something like GENIVI is so important, because it's a platform, it's a basis upon which multiple companies can basically collaborate to produce this non-differentiating element of the infotainment solution, meaning that we can collaborate on the non-differentiating part and then focus all our efforts in terms of differentiating and providing the added value for a company like BMW, rather than reproducing many of the things that the customer just doesn't recognize but needs.
The largest challenge in the automotive software industry is the increasing complexity of our products, particularly in the high-end infotainment products. The number of lines of code is growing exponentially, the feature sets are growing significantly, all of which is driving development costs. The development teams on some of these programs are very large, upwards of 50 to 100 software engineers. And that, of course, drives cost at the same time. Then the volumes on some of these products are relatively small, so it makes them prohibitively costly to develop in many cases.
I think the acceptance in terms of open source, it's a challenge for the automotive industry. It's something new. It's something that we haven't really considered before. We're considering open source in the area of infotainment, because of the amount of contributions you get within open source within that infotainment space. What's very useful in terms of GENIVI is that you've got a number of companies all addressing the same problem at the same time. And alongside those automotive partners, you've got companies who are well versed already in open source. So if you look at a number of the GENIVI members, open source is not something that's new for them. They've been doing this for years. It's their core business. For the automotive guys, it's something new. So while the open source guys are trying to find out and discover what does automotive mean, you've got the automotive guys trying to work out exactly how to function, how to operate, how to behave within open source space. And what you find is that with a mix of those groups, you're effectively both helping each other out to further the business for both types of company.
My organization, by being engaged in the work of GENIVI, has gained a lot of knowledge very rapidly for what is at stake in building a new generation of infotainment systems with open software, both in terms of architecture, technical aspects, and also in terms of process, in terms of the structure of the value chain that we need to establish these kind of systems. So we could do that in a very rapid manner, in a very constructive way, and by having this rich network that is now at work in GENIVI.
I think, to me, one of the biggest accomplishments of GENIVI in the last year is the sourcing of production programs from the OEM members. A lot of times in alliances such as this, you come together, you work together, the OEMs participate, but then it never leads to production business. And in this case, our OEM members have stepped up or have either sourced or are in the process of sourcing production business based on the GENIVI specification and definition.
For the next period, for the next year, we would like the GENIVI community to understand that it is more than mandatory to contribute to the working group, to the real work that is producing the GENIVI reference, framework and software. What I can tell is that as an OEM and end customer, we are closely monitoring the contributions of the companies in the working groups, both to understand what knowledge they already have that they will bring in the working group, and also what knowledge they will gain from the working group that will give the experience for them to master the future developments. And when we will go on the market with our request for proposal, it will be a major asset to make a proper assessment of the offers we are going to receive.
Delphi saw in GENIVI an opportunity to work with like-minded companies in the auto industry to collaborate and develop a key part of the software stack that goes into our products.
So I think member organisations within GENIVI can increase participation by looking at resource they have that can be applied to various working groups. So, ARM has only recently become a member of GENIVI, but we are very much in the process right now of looking at which are the critical working groups that we can help influence, what is the skill set within ARM, and how can we deploy resource for the greater good of the GENIVI Alliance moving forward. So I think all members should look at what resource and what skills they have within their organisation and how they can apply that to the various working groups.